Spartan fans, we're here with associate head coach for San Jose State women's basketball, Ryan Cooper. And coach, San Jose State, they returned to the court after a long layoff for the first time in 10 days. It was after a difficult road trip where the Spartans, they went 0-3. Did the long layoff come at an ideal time for the team, or does that hurt the team because you have to worry about rust and whatnot?
No, I think it was the right timing. I think anytime you can have a long period of practice time and get back into the gym and get to work and work on the things that, you need to work on, that you can take film from the last 3 games, like you mentioned, or so. And, offensively, defensively, plus we have time to get players back in the gym and work on skill development. And that's always a good thing in our eyes. And so, we don't look at it, the layoff of 10 days being a rest versus, reward type of thing. It's, for us, I think it's just an opportunity to get better.
Is it fair to say that the team has been inconsistent so far? And do you think that the team is still searching for an identity at this stage in the season? During that road trip, there's a good start against St. Mary's. And then the second quarter, things were a little more difficult. You lost that game. And then the next 2 games, the Spartans really weren't all that competitive in either of those contests. So we've seen good stuff from the team early on, the home win against Pacific, the win against Academy of Art, that first quarter against St. Mary's. And then we've seen some times where the team really hasn't been in games. So how do you explain that through the first few games?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think more than anything else, we're looking for consistency from the whole. We'll have consistency at times from, players individually with the roles that we've asked them to do. And we have seen, individual players have good 2, 3, 4 game stretches where, they're playing confident basketball and they're doing the things on both ends of the floor that we're looking for them to do. But, at this level, it takes 5 players to be successful. And so to find a group of 5 that can be on the floor at the same time and be consistent throughout, 40 minutes is really what we're searching for. And I think that's, the reason as to why you're seeing, some deficiencies as to putting back-to-back quarters together or back-to-back halves, a full game together. Confidence and consistency right now is what we're preaching. And we're still working at trying to get 5 players on the floor at once to do those things.
You spoke about individual players. One that I want to bring up, Ella Ogier. She had a solid game against St. Mary's, struggled in the next 2 road games. But I was out at practice yesterday and she seemed to be hitting shots. She seemed to be playing well in practice and seemed to have this confidence about her on the court. She's shooting right under 40% for the season. What do you expect to see from her tomorrow as we inch closer to conference play?
Play hard like she always does. I mean, she's energy, she's effort, she's positivity. We know what we're going to get from her. Consistency, like we just talked about. I enjoy watching her play because she plays with a great spirit and respect for the game. And she influences her teammates to, kind of match that energy that she brings every single night, every single day to practice too. She's a joy to be around. She's a great teammate. So, we can expect those things from her, and the rest falls in place. When you play hard, good things happen. And so we know she's going to go out there. She's going to play her butt off on both ends of the floor. And she's going to definitely impact the game.
Another individual player that we have not seen this season, but we may see soon, Sophia Jones. We also saw her out there on the practice court yesterday. What is her status for the game tomorrow against UC Irvine? And when she does come back, what do you expect her to bring to the table and to the team?
I think we're going to be able to see Sophia play a little bit tomorrow, which is a great thing for her. I'm really happy for her. She's been working extremely hard and diligently to get back with the rehab and from the injury. And I'm excited to see her. Her teammates are excited to get her back on the floor. Stability. I think she's just a really solid player, and she brings a lot of intangibles from the point guard position to the table that we need. And we talked about consistency, and she's someone in our freshman year, even though it was cut short last year, that we were seeing, and through practice and through, the 4 games that we did get to play, someone that we can rely on with the ball in our hands, a calming presence, poise at the point guard position, very smart, intelligent basketball player that can make shots and defend really well. So we're excited to bring her back, and I know our teammates are just thrilled for it as well.
We mentioned that up next for San Jose State is UC Irvine. The Anteaters, they're 500 entering the game tomorrow night. And like San Jose State, they have 2 players averaging double figures in points, redshirt freshman Kayla Williams and the sophomore Chloe Webb. What concerns the coaching staff about UC Irvine, and how do the Spartans get the victory tomorrow night?
We're going to have to handle pressure. They do a really nice job of getting out and pressing, whether it's zone press or, man press, but they're going to put some pressure on the ball, and they're going to do it full court, and they're going to do it for 40 minutes, whether it's a made basket or a dead ball off a free throw. And so really that's most of the game for us. Can we handle that pressure, and can we attack it? We've got to score the ball obviously better than we've done in the last couple of games, but they're challenging in that aspect where they're going to really defensively pressure you and try and turn up the pace, take you out of what you want to do. And as long as we can handle that pressure and execute, I think we'll be good to go.
You mentioned the pressure defense from UC Irvine, and San Jose State earlier in the season had some trouble with turnovers. On the road trip, though, it seemed like those turnovers went down for the Spartans, the ball control getting better. And that was another thing that I noticed in practice. It seemed like the turnovers when practicing against certain defenses was less, that the passes were a little more crisp, that this team seems to be getting used to playing together. Do you think that's an accurate assessment? And what have you seen personally with the Spartans in adjusting to those pressure defenses and full court presses?
Yeah, and again, it goes back to even the stretch that we've just had, the 10 days off. We've gotten better, right? Ball security has been a focal point for us. We've asked players to do things that they haven't necessarily done where they've come from, whether if they're a transfer, if they're a freshman coming into our program. And of course, you're talking about now doing it at the Division I level. And so again, process, development, 1 foot in front of the other, day by day, however you want to describe it, we are getting better daily. And there's things that we are preaching, ball security, obviously being one, a big standpoint from an offensive perspective. And we are getting better from that. I think anytime that you can sit down positionally with your group from the guard standpoint or the post standpoint, and you have time and you have film that you can watch, there's no greater teaching point than film. Practice film is major. Game film is major. Those moments are growth moments for our players, especially young players or players that, are experienced, but just are playing maybe a different role for us here. So we've taken advantage of that time, and our players are getting better. They're seeing the game through film, and then they're going and applying it on the court.
We're here with associate head coach for San Jose State women's basketball, Ryan Cooper. One more question for you. This is an odd game for San Jose State in that you're not playing at the Provident Credit Union Event Center due to graduation ceremonies. The venue has moved down south, down the 17 to Santa Cruz and the Kaiser Permanente Arena. I just wanted to get your thoughts, the coaching staff's thoughts and feel, and the players, the team as a whole, their thoughts and feel on playing in that arena. It's the home of the G League Warriors. There's been some footage of Klay Thompson working his rehab on that court. Technically a home game for the Spartans, but you guys will be staying overnight in Santa Cruz, and it won't be the same venue. You're not sleeping in your own bed. So how does that change things? Do you like the change? Do you dislike the change? Just what are your thoughts on playing in Santa Cruz?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think number one, we're just eager to play. We've talked about the layoff. It's been good to us, but we're ready to get back out. So I don't think right now it matters where we are. We could be traveling, across the country to go play. And I think we're fired up and ready to go. Nice that we don't have to get on a flight to do this, but we're excited to just be on a bus ride, down the road to Santa Cruz, and awesome venue. Been there before, many games. And so we're excited to play there. we'll get a chance to shoot around and get accustomed to the gym and the arena. But the other thing is we're battling with finals right now. So whether we're here or there, we still have student athletes managing their time, and with the scouting report for tomorrow night, and obviously the finals and the pressure of doing well with those. So everybody in the country is dealing with that right now. But the fact that we're right in the midst of it, and actually we have some that have a final on game day, so it's going to be an interesting day tomorrow. But I feel like we're locked in and we're ready to play.
Associate Head Coach Ryan Cooper, we thank you for your time and wish you the best of luck in Santa Cruz. Fans, if you can't make it down to Santa Cruz, you can watch the game on the Mountain West Network, San Jose State and UC Irvine, 6 p.m. Once again, Associate Head Coach Ryan Cooper, thank you for your time.
Thanks, Dan. I appreciate it.